Welcome back to Python MC. In this section, we are going to combine everything we've learned so far with string methods and Makebeat. We're going to bring it all together into one program where we're going to take an original beat, hip hop, trap hop beat 002, put it on track 1, start at 1. And we have a few different beat patterns we're going to play with. The first one we're going to play with is remix 3, the one on line 17. And we're just going to drop in that Makebeat. But what we want to do is we want to use the code from the Coding Solutions String Methods Challenge. And we're going to copy that and drop it right in here. And then we're going to tweak it. We're going to update it a little bit to remove some errors that we're going to find. So we're going to run this the first time. And you'll notice the first error gets thrown at you. And that's because it says that if there's an error here, and I'm just going to tell you how to fix it. There's some different, we're just going to delete that section right there between line and strip. It's basically we're using different versions of Python within Trinket versus EarSketch. So it's just going to, if you delete that, it's going to work. So we're just going to give that one to you. That one was a little bit tough to figure out. This other one is just because EarSketch has this concept of read input to put in text into that little pop-up window. It's different than standard Python. So we're going to put in read input here with a capital I to fix that problem. And it's basically going to work. There is another bug in here, which we'll show you in a few minutes. But basically what we can do now is search on, in this case, hip hop, trap hop, which is the same name as our track, or it's the same sort of start. It starts with the same letters as our track. And then it's going to run this query using that, taking that beat, so in this case, hip hop, trap hop, and it's going to get out everything that starts with hip hop, trap hop, and put it into one big list. Now, when we scroll all the way back down through our code, we'll see that it goes up to track 2, starts at 3, so we can kind of hear one at a time. It runs that, get similar beats query you had before, the program we used before, and it's just going to drop in each similar beat, starting by removing the original beat, so we don't play it twice, and then it's going to drop in the similar beat using the same beat pattern. So now you can experiment with different beats using the same Makebeat pattern, same beat pattern using Makebeat. So now it's using the remix 3 beat pattern, playing all of these beats one by one, spacing them out so you can hear them individually. So you can start to see how similar beats would sound with the same beat pattern. You can experiment with them automatically. It's pretty cool. It's really useful, especially as you're just getting to know a certain new beat and you want to see how all these others would sound with this new beat pattern. So it's going to, again, take in this case, we search for hip hop _ trap hop, and then running that code that we've used before with the string method solution. It's going to search for these beats and then gets all the similar ones into a list, drops them in one at a time using a for loop, and it just removes the original beat so we don't play it twice. So that's what it does. Now, what happens when you run this and you don't type in anything? So what happens when you run this and the user doesn't type in anything? Well, I'll give you a hint, and that is EarSketch is just going to crash. It's going to sit here for a little while. It's going to think. It's going to think some more. It's still thinking because it really needed some sort of response there. If you gave it way too many beats, or if you give it a really short string, like let's you just say HIP, then it's going to, or HI, it would just drop in every single hip hop track, and EarSketch just gets overwhelmed because you're putting in way too many tracks. So then it's unresponsive. We have to kill it. So in order to avoid that, I'm just going to refresh the browser here. In order to avoid that, we need to have some way to sort of have a default value for query. So when we do the sound search down here, we need to figure out some way, whether it defaults to a certain set of beats or it defaults to a certain length of query. You just need to make sure that if the query is too short or it's blank, that it doesn't crash your program. So that's your challenge. Good luck. Get into it. We'll see you again on Python MC.
Python MC.